This is a recording of the course introduction, and most of everything that you'll need is going to be in Learning Suite. So here in Learning Suite, let's go to the syllabus to give you an overview of the class. So you can see my contact information here, and until I'm back on campus, you can reach me through email. So this course is designed to provide an understanding of public health nutrition as it's applied to community programs. We'll look at community needs assessment techniques, we'll look at program planning and evaluation, and public policy and specific nutrition assistance programs. For this class, you need the 7th edition of the Community Nutrition Action book by Boyle. You can get that in any form, electronic or hard copy. I encourage you to go online and see if you can find the most economical price for the book. There is a packet for this class as well, in which you'll use a lot of the class activities will be based on what's in the course packet. You can look at the learning outcomes here and how they relate to the Dietetics Ascend standards and also to nutritional science program learning outcomes. Essentially, there's a learning outcome related to learning about different community nutrition programs, government health care programs, and policies aimed to enhance nutritional status and overall health of individuals in the U.S. population. You will write a grant proposal in this class, and it's going to encompass elements of a needs assessment, program planning, evaluation, budget preparation, and you'll actually conduct the project in a real life community setting. You also, the third learning outcome is to exhibit communication skills, confident communication skills in both written and oral communication. So here's a brief description of the assignments. I'll let you read through these in detail on your own. Just a brief mention for each one, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail on the community project. So you'll work in teams of 4 this semester, and you'll be completing different components of the project throughout the semester that will result in a grant proposal, but also your implementation of a project in the community. Public policy assignment, you'll be writing a letter, email, and materials called Leave Behind materials that will relate to a specific policy issue of interest to you, whether it's state or federal. Mountain Head Start, a nutrition education lesson. You'll work in teams of 2 and going to a classroom at a Head Start facility, which is a preschool for low-income families. And you will teach a lesson that's already been developed by Head Start, nutrition education lesson, and then write a reflection essay. The SNAP challenge, understanding food insecurity. You essentially will live on a limited budget per person in your household per day, and then you'll go to the food bank or Food and Care Coalition and volunteer there and reflect on your experiences with both of those activities. There are reading questions, so for each topic area, the reading assignments associated with that topic area have questions I want you to answer, and they can be found in the Exams tab in Learning Suite. They are open book, open notes. You do need to complete them on your own, but if they're untimed, and again, open book. We'll have guest presenters coming throughout the semester to talk about programs they work in, and your assignment will be to complete a form and answer a question in which you describe how the information presented by the guest speaker connects with concepts we talked about in class. And then finally, there are 2 exams this semester. There's a midterm and a final, both administered at the BYU Testing Center. And they consist of multiple choice, matching, and short answer type questions. There's some tips for study habits that I'll let you look at on your own. There's a grading scale, and then just to remind you that the grading policy is within 7 days, it's a 10% penalty between days 8 and 14 is 20%, and I don't accept anything late after 2 weeks, after 14 days. The one exception to late work are the guest presentation forms. They cannot be submitted late. They must be submitted by the due date. So looking at the assignments more detail, there are those reading questions you'll see. They're listed by topic area. So pay attention to the due dates, and then know that the questions are based on the reading related to that topic area that's outlined in the schedule. So the community project, you have several assignments throughout the semester that are individual assignments, but that collectively will be collated into a grant proposal. So from the project goals and objectives through transmittal letter, all these individual assignments will be collated into your final grant proposal. So you submit these individual assignments, I will give you feedback, and then in your collated grant proposal, you'll have a chance to make changes to the feedback I gave and to submit a final version. As the semester goes on, I'll talk more about these assignments. And then here's a public policy, submit an initial draft, get feedback, and then the final version is the one that gets graded for full points. You need to submit something complete or you will lose points on your final version. So there's more details about that in the actual assignment descriptions. On September 26th, we have the Nutrition Services Director from Head Start coming to train you on the experience you'll have in the classroom. And after that date is when we'll have the schedule available for you to sign up for when you'll go to that classroom with a classmate. So 2 of you will be going together. The SNAP Challenge assignments listed here, and then you can see there's the guest presentation forms, the exams. So with that, I want to show you the content tab. You'll see there are study guides related to each topic area. My post PowerPoint slides here. And now I want to talk a little bit more about this community project. So the first assignment you have related to the community project, if we go back and look at the assignments list, is selecting your community site. So let's look at this. Because this is due September 13th, so this is the first of the community projects assignments that's due. So essentially, you're going to work in a team of 4 students, and even if you don't know others in the class, it's okay. I will post a Google Doc Wednesday, next Wednesday after the add drop deadline, and essentially you can just sign your name up with some other students there in the Google Doc, and then you as a team of students will decide which community agency you would like to work with. And how do you know the community agencies? Well, under the Content tab, under Community Project, the directory is right here. So essentially, I had a graduate student help me to compile this year, and these are all partnerships I have in the community in which they've agreed to have student groups work with them, and many of them listed potential projects. So as your team of 4, you can look through this directory and see which of these community sites sound interesting to work with. And on that Google Doc, you can put your names and then also the community site you'd like to work with. And on that Google Doc as well, within your team of 4, I want you to appoint or someone step up to be the project manager. That project manager's role really is just to make sure things are progressing on the project and coordinating the team's efforts. So in the Google Doc, you'll indicate your teammates, who the project manager is, and the community site in which you'd like to work. Now this really is kind of a first come, first served basis. I will be reviewing that, and once you receive an email confirmation from me that the site has been approved, then you can move on to the next step. So once your project site has been approved by me, then you'll create a list of 3 questions, ask your community site contact person, and you'll schedule an appointment with that person. So you can see here the contact person is listed right underneath the community site. And so that's the person you would contact to say that you're interested in working with them for this community project. And then you'll meet with them to find out the answers to your questions and learn more about their agency and talk about the project that you'll complete this semester. It's key that it has some kind of nutrition intervention or nutrition component with it. Definitely be open to the agency's suggestions you're meeting with. And you'll type up your summaries and the answers to the questions you asked in that meeting, and you'll upload to Learning Suite. So now only one person from your team needs to submit the document in Learning Suite, and grading is based on thoughtful, informative responses and accurate grammar, spelling and grammar. So again, that Google Doc that's mentioned here, that will be open next Wednesday after the add drop deadline, and then that needs to be completed by Friday, 11:59 p.m. If you have questions on this part of the community project, definitely just let me know. With that, I think that that gives you a brief overview of the course. And if you do have further questions, definitely send me an email.